Hello, very good evening. Namaste and welcome to Chaitya Media and the Festival of Bharat. Today we are joined by Mr. Aroup Chatterjee, who's an Indian author, or rather should I say author of Indian origin. And he is famously known for his critique contesting the legacy and life of Mother Teresa. Aroopji, thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste, and I hope everything's well in Australia.
Well, thank you. Yes, thank you for asking me. I wouldn't call it a critique. I would call it a factual analysis. Although people call me a critic, people might call my work, critique, and also people call my work controversial. But I don't think I have put anything controversial in it. It's very few subjective statements. Right. It's very, very factual. I put all the facts down for the reader to read, and then they can make up their own minds.
Right. It'll be a very interesting conversation, and let me begin by asking you this. There's a widespread regard for the work that Mother Teresa has done, and it's almost as if one cannot comment on this subject without receiving harsh criticism, right? So in that sense, how would you begin by characterizing what Mother Teresa's life and legacy was?
Okay, I mean, you have actually hit the nail on the head, that you can't even discuss her without a halo coming from even you as a reflection. And it is very irritating because you can't comment on her, you can't discuss her, you can't even criticize her, obviously. But it is very much different now in Western Europe. You can criticize her, and also among serious journalists and media people in the West, criticism of Teresa has become the norm. It is, unfortunately, in India and in Calcutta, it's very unusual. Whereas I can assure you the opposite should be the case. In India, in particular in Calcutta, in West Bengal, Mother Teresa's criticism should be paramount because she destroyed the reputation of the city, my town of origin and my birth of my youth, permanently. And probably for a century to come, Calcutta will suffer because of the association of Mother Teresa.
Why would you say that? Because some people would say that that is a very harsh way of looking at her life, because all she tried to do was help the poor.
Yes, I mean, that's the myth. She did not have much regard for the poor. She was a very cynical person when it came to charity and the poor. All she was interested in was a promotion of her faith and herself. It wasn't a conspiracy, no. I mean, please don't fall into this Indian trap of looking at everything through a conspiracy and the financial prism. She did not get into this, or she did not do this sort of subterfuge or falsity to enrich herself or to live a life of luxury. Although she was very rich and she passed on her funds to the Vatican, she did it for ideology. And coming from a left ideology myself, and I still belong to the left ideology, make it very clear, I can understand how people can forsake everything for the sake of their faith and their ideology. So that's what she did. And what she did was she used to go around the world 4 or 5 times a year. She used to spend probably 8 months sometimes, 8 months a year sometimes in Europe and US. She used to go around telling everybody that Calcutta was just a massive slums and sewers and gutters. That was the phrase that was used repeatedly, sometimes by her and mostly by journalists. Sewers and gutters of Calcutta where limbless lepers lay wailing to be saved, and she used to come around and lift them up and take them to her hundreds of homes in Calcutta. Calcutta had nothing except missions of charity homes and an innumerable number of destitute who were just screaming for help. And Teresa was the only help giver. So this is the image that has stuck in the minds of the world. And she really and truly damaged the city permanently.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.